I blurted out that I didn't love him anymore, a statement I didn't fully mean but one that shattered him. I continued my secret interactions with the new manager, finding solace in the attention he provided, and we eventually crossed the line into a physical affair. Our clandestine meetings became a regular occurrence, and I was caught in the thrill of something forbidden. One day, my ex-husband unexpectedly came home early from work and caught us in the act. The shock, anger, and hurt in his eyes were palpable. This revelation led to legal consequences for the new manager, as he now serves a 5-year jail sentence for his actions. The aftermath has been devastating for my family. My children no longer live with me, and my ex-husband, rightfully angered and betrayed, has severed our marital ties. The once united bond of my immediate family is now shattered, and the weight of my actions hangs heavily on my conscience. Lonely nights in my silent home serve as a constant reminder of the family I once had, now destroyed by my own selfishness. I reflect on the years of love, support, and partnership that I took for granted. In 2015, when I turned 39, I undertook a physical transformation, shedding excess weight through rigorous exercise and adopting a healthier lifestyle. The result was a fantastic weight loss from 180 to 135 pounds. Despite external improvements, my emotional disconnect from my husband grew, leading to a decline in intimacy and a sense of dissatisfaction. My ex-husband, who had always been supportive, loving, and understanding, joined me in my fitness journey but couldn't match my dedication. Even as he expressed his desire and love, I found myself unresponsive, attributing it to a potential early onset of menopause. When he suggested couple counseling, I selfishly declined, a choice that would contribute to our eventual downfall. The arrival of a younger, attractive manager at my workplace marked the beginning of an emotional affair. Despite initially resisting, I succumbed to the excitement, engaging in flirtation that escalated into a full-blown affair. During a heated argument with my ex-husband, I uttered words I didn't entirely mean, expressing that I no longer loved him. The affair was exposed when my ex-husband unexpectedly returned home early, catching us in the act. The consequences were severe, with the new manager facing legal repercussions. My family disintegrated, and I grapple with the profound regret and self-loathing brought on by my destructive choices. Acknowledge me, and my attempts to explain only fueled their anger. The guilt and shame were suffocating, a heavy weight on my chest. My ex-husband faced legal consequences for his actions, serving a 5-year jail sentence. The family that once admired and loved me was now fractured, with my immediate family turning against me. The sense of betrayal and disgust in their eyes haunted me, and I found myself spiraling into a deep well of self-loathing. Reflecting on my actions during that tumultuous time, I cringed at the way I treated my ex-husband, pushing him away and finding fault in the smallest things. The excitement and novelty of the affair clouded my judgment, blinding me to the pain I was causing him. It wasn't until my brother revealed my ex-husband's depression and contemplation of separation that reality hit me like a freight train. Determined to salvage my marriage, I ended the affair, quit my job, and resolved to make my ex-husband feel loved and wanted again. However, my misguided attempt at reconciliation took a disastrous turn when my affair partner visited me at home. In a moment of weakness, I allowed one last encounter, a decision that would lead to a catastrophic event. As my ex-husband caught us in the act, a violent altercation unfolded. The room echoed with the sound of a loud bang as my ex-husband unleashed his rage, resulting in a physical confrontation that left my affair partner battered and bloodied. The police were called, and my ex-husband willingly surrendered, accepting the consequences of his actions. The aftermath was a descent into chaos. The hospital became a battleground of emotions, with my family expressing their disdain and anger. My father's silent gaze spoke volumes, my brother's fury was palpable, and even my mother's attempts at consolation were met with my father's sharp rebuke. His extended family, once welcoming, now threatened me with retaliation. Attempting to reach out to my children proved futile as they rejected any communication, their hearts hardened against me. The repercussions of that fateful day had irreversibly fractured my relationships and left me grappling with the consequences of my actions, drowning in a sea of regret and remorse. To our home to collect his belongings, leaving me alone in a space that once held the warmth of a family. The legal battles intensified as my soon-to-be ex-wife sued me for alienation of affection, adding another layer of turmoil to an already chaotic situation. Divorce proceedings loomed on the horizon, and my ex-husband's incarceration cast a long shadow over the shattered remnants of our family. My eldest son couldn't bear the weight of the situation and chose to move out, seeking solace away from the fractured home. Another son remained locked in his room, a silent protest against the upheaval that had torn our lives apart. The twins rebelled fiercely, their anger and confusion manifesting in ways that echoed the chaos within our family. Attempting to make amends, I approached my former sister-in-law, seeking forgiveness and reconciliation, but instead, I was met with an attack in the aisles of Price Chopper. Her visceral reaction, a spit in the face, mirrored the disdain that surrounded me. Even when I attempted to apologize to my ex-husband's mother, the wounds were too deep, and my gestures of remorse fell on deaf ears. Communication with my father and brother became non-existent, their silence a stark reminder of the irreversible damage caused by my actions. In a desperate attempt to rebuild my life, I sought new employment, but the stain of the affair had tarnished my professional reputation. I found myself working in retail and as a seasonal H&R block adjuster during the tax rush, a far cry from my previous career. Financial struggles compounded the emotional wreckage. Depleting my savings and grappling with a blacklisted professional reputation, I faced the imminent threat of losing the home that had once been a sanctuary for our family. The looming specter of foreclosure added to the overwhelming burden, and the weight of my mistakes pressed down on me like a suffocating darkness. Meanwhile, my ex-husband staunchly refused any visitation from me, severing the last threads that connected me to the life we had built together. The echoes of our shared past lingered in the empty spaces, haunting the halls of a home now devoid of the laughter and warmth that once defined it. The slow erosion of everything I held dear served as a harsh testament to the irreversible consequences of my choices, which was news I wouldn't have known if they hadn't started talking to me again. It was a small glimmer of hope in what felt like an eternity of darkness. Despite the progress with my children, my relationship with my brother remained strained. He continued to keep his distance, and the wounds of the past seemed too deep to heal. His disapproval lingered, a constant reminder of the pain I had caused. In the midst of these fractured relationships, my ex-husband's health took a severe turn for the worse. Stabbed in prison and enduring a broken spine, he faced unimaginable challenges. Despite my attempts to visit him, I was consistently denied access. The letters I wrote were returned, echoing the rejection and isolation I felt. The weight of guilt pressed on me, and I found myself sinking into a deep depression. Thoughts of disappearing and leaving everything behind haunted my mind. The strain on my parents' relationship added to the burden, and even old friendships were fractured due to divided opinions on the situation. Seeking solace, I turned to therapy. The therapist's scolding words resonated, making me confront the reality of my actions. I had taken my ex-husband for granted, treating him more like a friend with benefits than the life partner he deserved to be. As months passed, the silence from my children became a deafening void. Their refusal to engage with me, even during family dinners, intensified the isolation. Meltdowns and desperate pleas yielded no change, and the chasm between us grew wider. Then, an unexpected visit from my brother shattered the silence. Instead of offering support, he delivered a scolding, blaming me for the violence my ex-husband endured in prison. The news of the stabbing and the subsequent injuries deepened my guilt, and I cried for days, grappling with the realization that my actions had caused irreversible harm. Attempts to visit my ex-husband in the infirmary proved futile for 4 long years. Letters were returned, and my attempts to communicate were met with rejection. The years passed, and my children maintained a connection with their father, while I remained on the fringes, unable to mend the broken bonds. The turning point came in early May of this year when my children, seemingly happy, returned home. The reasons behind their return were unclear, but I cherished the opportunity to have them around, even if it was marked by moments of avoidance. Desperate to show my remorse, I tried to engage with them, and slowly conversations resumed. Learning about my eldest's relationship and my second-born's achievements on the college track team brought a sense of joy, a glimmer of hope in the midst of a tumultuous journey. Despite these small victories, My relationship with my brother remained distant, and my ex-husband's health continued to decline. The complex web of emotions, regrets, and attempts at redemption defined my ongoing struggle to rebuild what was left of my shattered life. It was as if my feelings didn't matter, and the betrayal was insignificant to her. Despite my attempts to address the issue and salvage our relationship, her disregard for my feelings persisted. I questioned her commitment to our marriage and whether she valued the years we spent building a life together. The pain of realizing that she was willing to jeopardize our relationship for a fling with a coworker was unbearable. As the days passed, I grappled with the emotional turmoil caused by her infidelity. It wasn't just about the act itself, but the lack of remorse and the continuation of her inappropriate behavior. I felt a profound sense of sadness and betrayal, wondering how we had reached this point in our relationship. In the midst of this emotional turmoil, I uncovered another layer of deception: her relationship with my ex-husband. Learning that she had visited him 2 years ago and continued to maintain a connection added a new dimension to the pain. The complexity of these entangled relationships left me grappling with a profound sense of loss and betrayal. Facing the truth about her ongoing infidelity, coupled with the realization that she was maintaining ties with my ex-husband, intensified the emotional toll. The longing for forgiveness, understanding, and the restoration of the family I once knew became a distant hope. Despite the tumultuous journey, a part of me still yearns for reconciliation. The dream of restoring what was lost lingers, even though I acknowledge that the path to recovery is fraught with challenges. The desire to undo the mistakes and rebuild a family is a constant struggle against the reality of irreversible damage caused by selfish choices. In the end, the story remains unresolved, with the weight of guilt and the haunting consequences of infidelity lingering in the hope for redemption and the elusive possibility of reclaiming what was lost. And now, learning about his affair with my ex, she felt betrayed as well. She decided to cut ties with him for the sake of her son's well-being and informed me that she would address the co-parenting situation with him separately. It was a surprising turn of events as I hadn't anticipated. Involving his co-parent in the fallout of the affair, it was a reminder of how interconnected lives can be and the ripple effects of infidelity. Amidst the chaos, I took a step back to reflect on my actions, realizing that the revenge I sought might have gone too far. The public exposure on social media and sharing screenshots with various people seemed like an impulsive response driven by hurt and anger. While the intention was to make her aware of the consequences, I questioned whether the impact was justified. The aftermath of my actions painted a messy picture: hurtful comments exchanged, insults thrown, and the realization that my desire for revenge had taken a toll on my own well-being. Recognizing this, I made the decision to cease communication with her. The toxic exchange only perpetuated the negativity, and I acknowledged the need to prioritize my own mental health. Seeking therapy became a crucial step in my journey towards self-improvement. The escalation of the situation made me confront aspects of myself that I hadn't explored before. It was a realization that revenge, even in the face of betrayal, might not be the solution. Instead, focusing on personal growth and emotional healing emerged as a more constructive path. Attempts to involve the restaurant owner in the situation yielded legal constraints, highlighting the complexity of workplace dynamics. Despite the evidence of inappropriate behavior during work hours, the employer's stance reflected the limitations of external intervention in such matters. As the fallout unfolded, it became evident that my ex's job at the restaurant remained intact. The legal framework in our at-will employment state provided her with job security despite the discomfort caused by the exposed affair. The realization that professional repercussions might not align with personal justice added another layer to the complexities of the situation. Further revelations about the guy she cheated with brought unexpected dimensions. Discovering his status as a single father and involving his co-parent added a layer of complexity to the aftermath. The co-parent's decision to cut ties with him for the sake of their son's well-being underscored the far-reaching consequences of the affair on multiple lives. In retrospect, the unfolding events prompted a reassessment of my own actions. The pursuit of revenge, while momentarily satisfying, revealed its limitations in fostering genuine resolution. The need for self-improvement, therapy, and a focus on personal growth emerged as a more sustainable approach to navigating the aftermath of betrayal. As the dust settled, the journey towards healing and understanding continued, acknowledging the interconnectedness of lives and the intricate tapestry woven by the choices we make. Wait, focusing on my health and improving my overall well-being. Ronnie and I were excited about the future, and the prospect of starting a life together brought us immense joy. As our relationship deepened, we faced the challenges of pursuing demanding degrees in the field of science. Yet, our shared interests and mutual support strengthened our bond. We embraced various activities, from video games and board games to participating in Indian cultural clubs and even exploring ballroom dancing together. Life felt like an enchanting journey, and we reveled in the magic of our connection. After a year of keeping our relationship a secret, Ronnie moved into my apartment, marking a new chapter in our lives. The seamless transition reinforced the harmony we shared, experiencing no arguments or significant problems. Our days were filled with shared passions, constant attraction, and a profound sense of love that defined our relationship. It seemed like an idyllic fairy tale, with two lovebirds joyfully building a life together. 2 years into our relationship, we decided it was time to introduce each other to our families. Negotiating cultural differences, my conservative Muslim parents accepted our relationship, grateful that I had chosen an Indian partner they could relate to. However, Ronnie's parents, initially harsh and aggressive, eventually warmed up to me after our meeting. The only complication arose when her parents, eager to see their daughter married, expressed the desire for an immediate union. This presented a dilemma as Ronnie and I had envisioned pursuing medical school after completing our bachelor's degrees, intending to start a family afterward. Despite the pressure, we remained steadfast in our decision to wait until after medical school to embark on the next chapter of our lives. Amid these considerations, I underwent a personal transformation, committing to lose excess weight, prioritize my health, and enhance my overall well-being. The anticipation of proposing to Ronnie and building a life together became a driving force behind my self-improvement journey. Our plan unfolded with precision. I aimed to propose to Ronnie for marriage 2 years after completing our bachelor's degrees. We envisioned a 5-month break after university, during which we would get married, embark on travels, savor a honeymoon, and then dive into medical school together as a married couple. As we navigated the complexities of family expectations, cultural nuances, and personal growth, Ronnie and I remained united in our vision for the future. The journey toward marriage and medical school was set, and our shared commitment fortified the foundation of our relationship. The prospect of realizing our dreams together infused our lives with excitement and purpose, creating a narrative that transcended the challenges we had overcome and the adventures that lay ahead. Some form of closure, but I refused to engage with her, feeling the sting of betrayal and deception. As I navigated the aftermath of the breakup, I faced the challenge of finding a new place to live while coping with the emotional upheaval caused by Ronnie's infidelity. The betrayal shook me to the core, and I grappled with a mix of anger, sadness, and disbelief. I immersed myself in the support of my friends who shielded me from Ronnie's attempts to reach out. Their loyalty and protection became a source of solace during this tumultuous time. While I acknowledged Ronnie's tearful pleas and attempts to explain her actions, I remained resolute in maintaining my distance. The discovery of the messages between Ronnie and Earl Bro provided a concrete understanding of the extent of her betrayal. It was not just a one-time lapse in judgment. Rather, it unfolded over an entire year, marked by clandestine complaints about our relationship and a deeper emotional connection with Earl Bro. Ronnie's claim that the involvement with Earl Bro was a drunken mistake appeared feeble in the face of the evidence I had gathered. The trust we once shared crumbled, and the foundation of our relationship disintegrated. The realization that she sought solace and emotional connection elsewhere while we were still together left me grappling with the profound sense of loss. Despite her plea for another chance or closure, I remained steadfast in my decision to sever ties. The pain of her betrayal lingered, and the notion of reconciliation seemed inconceivable. I grappled with the dissonance between the love we once shared and the reality of her unfaithfulness. In the wake of these events, I focused on rebuilding my life, finding a new place to live, and rekindling my sense of self-worth. The weight loss journey that initially aimed to become a better version for both myself and Ronnie took an unexpected turn. It became a symbol of resilience, strength, and the ability to stand tall even in the face of heartbreak. As I embarked on this new chapter, I reflected on the complexities of human relationships, the fragility of trust, and the profound impact of betrayal. The echoes of Ronnie's actions reverberated in the shadows, but I forged ahead, determined to rediscover my own path and identity beyond the shattered remnants of what was once our shared life. Was to create new memories and experiences together instead of dwelling on the past. I was relieved to find someone who shared my values and aspirations for the future. And Amina's commitment to her religious beliefs resonated with the foundation of respect that we had established in our relationship. As we navigated our engagement period, we embarked on a journey of self-discovery, mutual understanding, and the creation of a shared vision for our life together. Our interactions went beyond the conventional boundaries of dating, as we explored the depths of our compatibility and forged a connection that extended beyond mere romance. Amina's dedication to her studies and community service mirrored my own ambitions, fostering a sense of unity in our goals. We attended events, volunteered together, and gradually, the anticipation of our impending marriage transformed into a shared enthusiasm for building a life rooted in love, mutual respect, and shared values. While I had faced challenges in my previous relationship with Ronnie, the contrast with Amina's character and principles became evident. Our families collaborated in arranging our marriage, emphasizing a commitment to tradition, faith, and shared cultural values. The engagement period allowed us to deepen our understanding of one another, laying the groundwork for a strong foundation that extended beyond the surface level of a romantic relationship. In contrast to the tumultuous aftermath of my previous breakup, my engagement to Amina unfolded with grace and a sense of purpose. The support from our families, the commitment to our faith, and the shared aspirations for our future marriage created a sense of security and stability that I had not experienced before. Our engagement, characterized by shared experiences and meaningful conversations, transformed the narrative of my romantic life. The bucket list, once a relic of a past relationship, became a roadmap for building new memories with Amina. The activities we planned were not just about ticking off items but were an intentional effort to cultivate a bond founded on shared dreams and aspirations. As the engagement period neared its conclusion, the anticipation of our wedding day grew. We faced the challenges of a long-distance relationship with resilience, maintaining our connection through regular communication and visits. Our commitment to each other deepened, and the prospect of officially becoming life partners filled us with excitement and joy. Through the highs and lows, the journey of our engagement became a testament to the resilience of love, the strength of shared values, and the transformative power of finding a partner who aligns with one's deepest aspirations. In Amina, I found not only a life companion but also a source of inspiration, support, and unwavering love, sharing the twists and turns that unfolded in the aftermath of my past relationship. Amina and I continued to build our life together, navigating the challenges and triumphs that came our way. The completion of our bucket list before our wedding became a symbolic journey documented through photos and a scrapbook that encapsulated our shared adventures, from hiking mountains to salsa dancing and exploring iconic destinations like the Great Barrier Reef, Rome, and Paris. As the wedding date approached, Amina decided to share our scrapbook on social media, a gesture meant to celebrate our love and the experiences that shaped our journey. Little did we anticipate that Ronnie, my ex-girlfriend from years ago, would somehow discover the post and interpret it as an act of plagiarism. She accused Amina of stealing her idea, igniting a digital feud that quickly escalated. Amina, undeterred by Ronnie's accusations, responded with a forceful message defending her actions and expressing her disdain for Ronnie. The exchange reached a boiling point, prompting Ronnie to make distressing threats about taking her own life. The severity of the situation necessitated a 3-week stay in a mental health ward, creating a ripple of scandal within our Indian community. Despite the turbulent past, Amina and I continued to thrive in our marriage. We celebrated 2 years of wedded bliss, with Amina pursuing her studies in med school and myself working as a junior doctor. Our focus had shifted towards starting a family, with the shared goal of welcoming a baby into our lives. The narrative took an unexpected turn when my father received a call from a friend in another city who was arranging a marriage for his son. Ronnie's parents had proposed a match, and they reached out to my dad seeking information about Ronnie. In response, my father forwarded the initial email I had written detailing Ronnie's history of cheating, dropping out of university, and grappling with depression. The prospective groom, armed with this newfound knowledge, quickly changed his mind and canceled the arranged marriage. Grateful for the insight, he pledged to warn others in his community about Ronnie's past, ensuring that she faced the consequences of her actions. In reflecting on this journey, I recognized the power of karma at play. While I had initially sought to transform myself physically before proposing to Ronnie, the twists of fate revealed a different path. I found solace in the fact that, sometimes, justice unfolds on its own terms. My life was now filled with the joys of a loving marriage and a fulfilling career, while Ronnie grappled with the repercussions of her choices, a stark reminder that actions carry consequences. In sharing this story, I pass on the message of karma, a reminder that, in the intricate tapestry of life, the threads of justice are woven in mysterious ways.